There are two sides to social media. The good ones and the not so good ones. Through meeting young people, how has the digital age affected them?
I see a lot of boys and girls on their phones which has taken over their lives on social media. This is where all the arguments and fights can start. For instance, on Facebook they could see a post that's been put on about a certain person that's been on Facebook. Then one thing leads to another. Chinese whispers, for instance, starts off, and at the end of it they start having an argument, and then it starts that other people get involved who shouldn't be involved in the situation, does get involved, and then it just escalates from there, and it doesn't work out that good. In some cases it could end up in hospital.
And how many youths do you reckon are impacted by phones?
A good 95%. A lot of young people do have, and also they actually do ask for the more up-to-date phones, the iPhones, which is not really expensive, but to get more quality and more information of these phones.
Do you think that phones have a negative impact on a child's life?
Yes, because they see too many nasty and horrible situations on phones, and then they could turn into that nasty person.
Are you seeing that phones and social media can influence a young person into their later life?
Yes, and that young person might turn into a man or a woman in later life and cause criminal offence, get prosecuted by the law, and maybe even end up in prison, which is not a good route to go down. So that is why when Snapchat and Facebook say an age limit on these devices, that they should stick to that, because if you're under a certain age, I believe that Facebook is 13-year-old, and some children ages 7 or 8 can be on the Facebook because they put false identification on, which is wrong.
In light of the recent TikTok scandal, how many young people have you seen on TikTok below the age?
Far too many. Far too many people are on TikTok at present below the age, which causes a lot of problems in further life. And maybe it looks like fun doing all these TikTok dancing, but deep down, that might be the fun side, but deep down there is actual a serious side of things. For the children who are so young at present, who's just being born, social media is going to be very scary in the future.
So you're saying that social media basically changes the lives of multiple young people you've seen?
All age groups, all ages, all boys and girls of all age groups, definitely.
I got my first phone when I was in year 7. I got his reward of finishing the Quran.
122 on that. Am I the only one who doesn't like that? See, if you think about things like that too much, it can really get to your head.
Sometimes at night, just to take pictures, I do my makeup, just for a picture.
I think girls take it a bit more deeper than boys.
I have the most followers out of my friends, apart from Lola. But Lola looks like a model.
It's like this pressure to look like Gigi Hadid. And it's hard because, I don't.
Have you ever felt like you couldn't go a day without checking your phone? Chances are that the world seems to have shrunk into a 6-inch screen for most young people. It's not just a passing fad or a temporary trend. Technology has become an integral part of our daily lives, and for many young people, they can't imagine living without it. In today's society, social media has become a staple in the lives of young people. However, with the rise of social media comes the rise of addiction. Many young people find themselves checking their phone every few minutes, scrolling aimlessly through their feeds and comparing their lives to others. According to a recent study, young people spend an average of 7 hours a day on their phones. Imagine what you could do with 7 extra hours.
Swear I post everything on that, yeah.
Your phone is like heroin right now. The fix.
I got 19 likes on that.
Facebook, sometimes scroll through the feed when you're on the loo.
82 on that.
No, I get depressed that I'm touching my pockets thinking where my phone is.
In the day, we're supposed to hand in our phones and then collect them at home time again.
Obviously, no one does it. 120 on that.
I'm not tethered. Who would have thought that a phone could be so important in my generation?
I feel like we're all batshit, or maybe it's FOMO culture. We're constantly seeing what everyone else is doing, so we want to be involved. So we never get a break.
We're sorry, the number you have reached is not in service.
Phones are no longer just communication devices. They're a part of our lives. We check them when we wake up, before we go to bed. Even young people at the age of 2 are trading teddy bears for tablets. Instead of a childhood bound to live a life devoted to their screen. What kind of message is that sending? That people can't be creative and think outside the box? Think outside a 6-inch screen? But with all the benefits that come with smartphones, there's also a downside. Being constantly connected can lead to addiction, anxiety, and a fear of isolation. The impact of technology on young people's lives is both positive and negative. It has revolutionised the world in many ways, but it has also created challenges that we must address. Social media has affected the lives of so many young people and people across the globe. Would you say that the benefits outweigh the risks in social media? Is the dark side of social media overpowering the good it can actually do?
I find that social media is good in certain areas, but there's also a lot more, I would say a lot more bad than is good. For instance, if your family lived abroad, then you can contact them and speak to them like on Skype or on Instagram and stuff like that, where you can still contact your family. But there's also a lot of bad on social media. For good though, there is some good funny clips. For instance, there's a lot of highlights that children should know about, what families should know about, that children can get up to. But there is some good points, there's some funny parts, but I would say a good 80% is a lot of negative into the situation of everything.
And how much do you think that parents are aware what social media is currently doing to their children?
I think they know partly, but I don't think they know the full 100% of what they actually do. And because what a lot of the children do is they put things up and then they do a disappearing post, so the parents or nobody else can see what they've actually said to call another person, or if said something bad about somebody. They've put a post up where it does a disappearing post straight away, either by picture or text, especially on Snapchat. Boys and girls, they are influenced by other people. For example, they are influenced by celebrities, as seen on social media, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. They are influenced by celebrities because sometimes they would like to look like them, so they try to do things like, for instance, have the way that they like their hair, they like to do it that. Makeup is another product, the way they style, clothes-wise, how they dress. But they even go as far as operation. Because of the way that they look. They want to be skinny like that person, or they would like to have an operation to make themselves look thinner, to have that kind of influence on them.
And have you met teenagers and young people who have wanted to have these procedures done?
Yes, but in the past, I have seen a lot of young people, boys and girls, in the same situation. But what is stopping them is the fact that they can't afford it, so they do have to raise the money. But there is a lot of side effects by this. When the operation doesn't go right, they can lose their confidence. But what they're trying to do is try and look like that person and then try and get the confidence. But in the meantime of raising that kind of money, the celebrity who they're trying to look like has changed their image again. So they can't win. Whatever that celebrity wants to be like, they could want to try and change their image, but the celebrity keeps changing their hair. For example, they may have changed their hair colour, they may have changed their hairstyle. But what we know as older people, but what they might not realise is celebrities do wear wigs, and they can wear wigs, and that might be a way of changing their celebrity's hairstyle as quick and as a procedure as that. Wigs don't cost as much as what an operation does on a theatre table.
With so much negativity on social media, it can affect the way we see ourselves. Therefore, charities like Young Minds are there to help, posting inspiring videos, helping us to alter the way we think.
We all have negative thoughts sometimes and tell ourselves unkind things.
But how we speak to ourselves affects who we believe we are.
When we feel good about ourselves, it's easy to deal with life's challenges.
So be kind to yourself with hashtag 5-year-old selfie. You deserve it.
Step 1. Find your favourite photo of your younger self or something that reminds you of when you were younger. Step 2. Type 3 positive things you would like to tell your younger self. Step 3. Tag 3 friends to join and take part and tag us at Young Minds UK. Step 4. Share on your Instagram story or feed and spread the love.
So when you're feeling low, try taking a moment to picture yourself aged 5 years old.
And tell that inner child everything they need to hear. You're cute and you're funny. You'll be brilliant at football.
You're so much more than your grades. You'll get through it. I love you.
Be kind to yourself because you deserve it.
So what will the future hold? Will technology change our lives for the better or for the worse? The answer is, I don't know. What I do know is though, we should use technology to enhance our lives, not control it.